we will just introduce you to, you know, Ansible. It is, it comes just after this Ansible, Terraform, and Kubernetes. These three will come in the operate section of, we have gone through that cycle of DevOps in that ecosystem, where operate comes just before the monitoring and the feedback stage, just towards the end, where you have deployed your application. Now, to deploy your application, you need some environment. Okay. So before, you have to create your environment. So there you will need Terraform. We have discussed Terraform. That's why I'm not going to details of that. Then we come to why we are learning Ansible, because that is a configuration, something like you have done your um, environment, your infrastructure, okay, with the help of Terraform. And now with that raw infrastructure, you want to fine tune the environment. So what you need is a tool, an automation tool called Ansible. Okay, so it is called a configuration management tool. In the meantime, whenever you have any questions in your mind, please do not hesitate to raise your question, unmute yourself, and let me know whether you have any questions. So once we start doing it, there may be some questions, and I will be in a flow. I will not be able to see if you are raising your hands or if you are writing something in your chat. So better if you can just tell me what the question is. Is that fine? Okay. So we will learn Ansible, uh, we will also learn the architecture of Ansible. We will learn the Ansible components. Learning means I will introduce you to those concepts. Okay, so let's go move ahead. What and why Ansible? Why we need to learn Ansible, and what is Ansible? What is a brief history of Ansible? How Ansible works, and of course the Ansible architecture. So what is Ansible? In short, Ansible is an automation and orchestration tool popular for its simplicity of installation. Not only installation, it is easy to use and learn. In what concerns the connectivity to the clients. Now, most of the issues in IT comes whenever you want to connect one resource with the other resource. Many developers, very experienced developers, sometimes they fail to have that technology. I mean, work according to their tune. Because if you have a lack of understanding of how connectivity works, you will be sometimes get stuck. You will not be able to do it. But Ansible is such a thing that you know the basics of how to connect over the SSH. SSH is the secure shell connectivity. There is an open SSH protocol or a suite of protocols, which is a guideline of how you will be using that SSH protocol to connect between two separate instances or devices over the internet. If you want to connect two PCs over in your same network, it is very simple. You have a LAN installed. Okay, or you have one router where you are connecting within the internal domain of that particular router. So that will be quite simple. But the problem starts whenever you try to connect something which is in a different domain, maybe outside your area, outside your house, or maybe outside your country. In that case, your connectivity to the client can be very complicated. And it is like, if you have learned Chef, which is also a competitor of Ansible, you will understand the difference between Ansible and Chef, because in Chef, you will see that you have to create a cluster of nodes and the master. And that is a pull model. Because of pull model, you have to create a cluster, and to maintain the cluster, you need to have the agents polling each and every time between the between the various hosts in the system. But in case of Ansible, it is not that complicated. It is very simple. And that is why the learning curve for Ansible is quite simple. Ansible is very easier to learn. And we take around 5 sessions, if not more, and 5 sessions of 2.5 hours to complete Ansible with fundamentals and details and I mean advanced. Whereas if I had to teach you Chef, it won't take less than it would be almost like 11 to 12 sessions. I can say it is almost double to that because and installation of Chef itself will take me 2 sessions, 2.5 hours, 2 sessions. Whereas it will be hardly 10 minutes when I can install Ansible in a system. Can you see the difference? Because it is very easy to implement. Because it does not work through the agents. Ansible lacks the agent-wise connectivity. You need a lot of skills to do that. Ansible functions by connecting via SSH to the clients. So that is the most reliable and the most secured connectivity to the clients, which is employed by Ansible, the SSH. Okay.
Yeah.
Secure shell.
So baby, like this thing, the
Hello.
Shio, they use Shio. If you let Shio away, they mess up.
Hello. Any question? Okay. I think that was.
I think Philip
Sorry,
mic
my
was
microphone. Sorry.
mic was unmuted. No issue.
Okay. Sorry.
And Mr. Devashish, your camera is not, your face is not visible.
My face is not visible.
Mhm.
Okay. What happened?
Maybe now it is visible.
Okay, I don't know why it was just 1 minute.
Mhm.
Okay, it should be. Maybe there is some Bluetooth signaling issues.
Yes.
Okay, is it now visible?
Yes.
Great. So as I was saying, Ansible is an open source configuration management tool, first of all, used for configuration management. You configure the system that has been provisioned by Terraform. It comes after that. Can solve a wide range of automation challenges like operations team or the admin of a system will keep on updating patches, uh, installing softwares, upgrading softwares, removing softwares, uh, installing the users, configuring the users. So many activities every day. If you are working in a big organization, you will see there are lots of tasks for you as a DevOps engineer. You will keep on busy, and for that, if you try to do something manual, then what happens is you will lose out of 8 hours work, almost 4 to 5 hours you will do manual activities. Okay, so why can't we reduce that manual activity? You cannot automate everything. That is for sure. But most of the scripts, most of the manual activities that you do can be scripted in an automation with the help of Ansible. The Ansible will help you do that. Many small activities that you do every day, there is a chart that you do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And throughout the day, you repeat the work again and again and again. So to avoid that repetition, to avoid that manual activity, and see more and more you do manual activities, then there is a possibility. Suppose you were supposed to do step number 2 before you do the step number 3, but you have skipped step number 2. That is a manual mistake. manual error, I mean human error. Okay, so what you can do to avoid such mistakes, to minimize the error to level 0, what you do, you put all those steps in a script and run that script. Ansible will help you to do all those things. And not only you have to write any scripts, you will call the modules of Ansible, and within the modules there are lots of functions. So DevOps has come up with lots of solutions. As we explore, we will come to know. It can solve a wide range of automation challenges. Written by Michael Dehan. You please remember this person's name, Michael Dehan. Okay, he has solved a lot of nightmare of the operations guys, of the IT guys. Now, Ansible, the company Ansible was taken over by Red Hat in 2015. Now, can anybody tell me who has taken over Red Hat? Red Hat is a very famous Linux company. Linux means the operating system. Like you have Mac, like you have Windows, you have Linux as well. Can you tell me who has acquired Red Hat? Who is the owner of Red Hat now? Any idea?
IBM?
Yes, exactly. IBM is the owner of Red Hat. So you can say Ansible is owned by IBM. So can you see the value of that product? IBM will not take Red Hat if it didn't have any value. Red Hat wouldn't take Ansible if it didn't have any value. So can you understand why you are learning a very important product? Because it is owned by IBM, so the value itself is too much. So we will learn, but we will learn in details in our job ready training. In these sort of trainings like your internship, we do not have much of a scope to get into the details and details and details. But whatever little, I will help you to understand. So it is just giving you why we are using Ansible, why there is a big benefit of learning Ansible. So you can go through it. As I told you, there are a few things like let me do it. I will underline. It is free. First of all, it is free. Let me use something else. First of all, it is free. It is an open source. It does not need any special system administrator skills. So it does not need any specialized skills to learn, because the official documentation is very comprehensive and you get a good mentor like us in Kalkey. So you can learn Ansible in very less time, in 5 sessions of 2.5 hours. Okay. So in this, you get to know each and every details of Ansible. It is very modular. It uses plugins, so you do not have to write any complicated scripts. The scripts are very simple. It is based on plugins, modules, inventories, and playbooks. We will come to each of this in our architecture. So it is a perfect companion to orchestrate a large environment. So if there are hundreds of hosts you have to manage and configure with Ansible, you can do it. It is a cakewalk, because Ansible itself is a robust system. Ansible is another big advantage. It is very lightweight and consistent, and it does not need to depend on any operating system or any underlying hardware of the platform. It is platform independent. platform agnostic, I can say. Agnostic means it is not dependent on any platform. It can be over the cloud, over the bare metal. It can be in the office premises of any operating system. It is also very secure due to its agentless capabilities, and it uses a very secure tool called OpenSSH. So that is a suite of tools, suite of protocols. One is SSH for connectivity over the internet. Can anybody tell me what can be the other one, another tool or another protocol? One is SSH. So let's say you want to copy from your laptop to a server in California. This is in India, and this is in California. Okay, there is a file, very, very important file. Let's say you want to copy it not in its own file system, but to a different system, a server, let's say server in California. How will you do it? Will you use copy command, CP command, or something else? CP command will be very good if you want to do it within the system, but it cannot help you to copy a file from here to here over the network, over the cloud. Let's say this is over the cloud. Let's say this is the Amazon cloud, AWS cloud. This server is somewhere on the AWS cloud in the region called California. So can you tell me what is the OpenSSH tool to help you do that? Anyone? Anyone? No one? It is SCP. So it is a secure copy. Like you have the secure shell for connectivity, here also a secure copy. There are few more. You have heard FTP, file transfer protocol. So it is like SCP is like a file transfer protocol. Anyway, so all these things are available within your Ansible. It is having a very smooth learning curve. So learning curve is very less in compared to any other configuration management tool. Any questions that you might have before I move in? So here there is a diagram that this is in 2020 when a survey was done. Okay. And the survey was done not by me or Kalkey. It was done by Google. And in 2020 itself, like when was Ansible taken over by Red Hat? It was in 2015. And within within the 5 years of its adoption with Red Hat, it has moved to the first position. Earlier, it was Chef. Now, Chef is in red. You see, Ansible has forged ahead quite a big jump. But that was in 2020. Now, it is somewhere here. And Chef may be a bit low. The demand has come down for Chef. And you can check for Puppet and Salt. They are lying towards the bottom in 2020. Now it is almost like competing for the last position. Ansible is on the top, right? So can I erase this? And can I move ahead? So the Ansible architecture is very simple. You see, you have the Ansible's automation engine. You have installed Ansible over the master server or the server. And these are the hosts. Host means this can be in India, can be in Australia, can be in Japan, so many all over the world. The hosts are because your company, let's say your company is in New Jersey and the main data center is in New Jersey. Okay, the head office. But staying over there, you can configure all the hosts scattered all over the world because nowadays all the companies are global. Okay, so you need to uh, be helping that company being a global partner to it. So Ansible is there for you to help. What you do, you as a user, DevOps user, you will create an Ansible playbook. A playbook is nothing but a YAML script. YAML is a format. You will write something of a script, whatever you desire. You see, as a DevOps engineer, you will always work as you will always ask what to do, what has to be done, what is the desire, what is more important than how. Who will be asking questions on how it has to be done, how it is to be done, how it can be done. All these things are favorite questions of a developer. But you will be only concerned with what? That is, you as a DevOps engineer, you are concerned with the what, not with the how. Okay? Do you agree? So what means desire? What you desire? And a desire means your manifest. And what is manifest? Is nothing but an artifact, a DevOps artifact, where you put in your desire as a script. You code. So it is called infrastructure as a code. You can code your infrastructure. You can configure your infrastructure. So I can say I can code my desire. I can manifest. Manifesting is you are expressing your desire. You are manifesting. So can I say an Ansible playbook? Can I say an Ansible playbook as a manifest file? Yes, I can. Okay, I will write my desire, what I want, what I want in this file. It's a playbook, and I will put that. I will take the help of. So this is the automation engine that is called the Ansible. I've installed it on the server, and I am taking the help of inventory. Inventory is what? It will give the IP addresses. It will collect the IP addresses of all these hosts. So this will be one host, one host, one host, and there can be hundreds of hosts. So all the IP addresses will be collected over in the inventory file. So whenever I will fire this, I will execute the playbook, it will first check the inventory. The inventory will give it, okay, these are the hosts, these are the IP addresses, they are using this IP addresses, and it will be connecting over SSH. Ansible has a mechanism to connect over this host and deploy the job. What is the job? The job is the configuration job. Deploy the the configuration job. Configuration job, like you want to install Java. You want to install Java over all the 100 machines all over the world. Yes, you can do it in one simple playbook script, manifest file. Isn't it quite amazing? Otherwise, you had to fly down over to India and do all the installations manually, like in 20 years back. Nowadays, you do not need to do that. You sit in New Jersey in your head office, have the Ansible installed, and use the inventory to execute your playbook, and your job is done. In the process, it will call the modules. So the playbook will call the modules. Modules are small programs that are inbuilt within Ansible. So let's say one module is copy module. Okay, a copy module is a already written program in Ansible. You call that copy module, and you will be able to copy a file from server. This file will be copied. Let's say you have a copy thing, and this server, this from this file system, it will be copied to all of this, whichever you have connected. So this file will be available to all the 100 machines. Isn't it quite amazing, quite fantastic? And there are over 750 modules. So you cannot think of anything that is not available as a module, as a small program for you to help. You do not need to write anything. You will just call that module, and the job is done. So the module will work through the API call to that particular. And remember, this host should have Python. The server should have Python, because Ansible is based on Python. That is the only requirement that you need to have. So whenever Ansible connects over SSH onto the host, it will check, it will gather. There is called a gathering of fact. And what is the fact? To check whether Python is available. Otherwise, Ansible will not be able to configure or deploy the jobs. Clear? Any questions? And it will be using the plugins. Plugins are nothing but small programs that will be having the libraries to be able to use a particular either the network or the platform. Okay. Okay. Any question that you may have up to this point, please let me know. First of all, are you able to understand what I'm trying to explain? Any answer? Anyone? No issues. If you do not understand, you can let me know. I will explain it again. Okay. I assume, because there were no responses, so I will assume that you have understood at this till this point. Fine. Thank you. So we will have a master. You are the master. You are the DevOps engineer. You are creating a playbook. Playbook is like your manifest file, where you put in your desire of what you want, and then that playbook will be looking for the inventory. Inventory is a file where you will have the destination where you want to connect and do the configuration of the jobs. You will use the modules. In this, there will be modules, and then you will connect over SSH and look for Python whenever the connectivity is there. So that is the basic Ansible architecture. Okay, you are writing a playbook. You have consulted your inventory. Inventory will give you the idea of what is your destination hosts. So there will be a list of hosts where playbooks will be operated. So your playbook, the playground is the host. So you want to deploy the jobs over there. So you need to know where you want to, what is the destination. And then the playbook describes the tasks to be executed. Playbook is to organize the tasks. We write a playbook. We write a playbook to organize the tasks within plays. Say play one. Play one. There will be task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, whatever number of tasks. Play 2. There will be task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. You can have hundreds play in task 1, task 2 and onwards. And what are these plays? Plays are part of the playbook where you will connect to the host or group of hosts. Let's say in India, group, so in the India group, you will connect through the inventory, and that under the India group, there are several IP addresses. So let's say there are 5 IP addresses, means there are 5 hosts under India where you want to install Java. So in one playbook, this is one playbook. Okay. This is, let's say, this is Japan. And under Japan, there in the inventory, you have several IP addresses. So there with the playbook, with the play 2, you connect to Japan with all its IP addresses. That means you are going to install Python. So your company has asked you to write a playbook where you can install Java in all the 5 machines in India, all the 10 machines in Japan, and maybe this is Africa, say South Africa. There are 100 machines. Machines can be over the cloud or it can be on the on-premise in the data center, whatever it is. You just have to connect it, okay, through this thing. And there they are installing a web server. Let's say Nginx web server. Okay. So you have done that. So in one playbook, you have done so many tasks. Can you imagine? In all the India servers, you have done Java. In all the Japan servers or hosts, you have installed Python. And in all the servers or all the hosts in Africa, you have installed web server, Nginx. In one go, you have to just use an Ansible command to execute the playbook. That's all. Any question? So let us move ahead. Similarly, as I told you, these are the modules where there are over 750 core modules. As I told you, 750 core modules. So you do not need to customize or have your own module. You can, of course, Ansible will have that power given to you to create your own module, but you do not need to generally. 750 modules are more than enough. Whatever you can think is available in one particular module. You can also customize your own module. By default, the host will lie under the etc Ansible. So whenever you install Ansible, the inventory file, the default inventory file is This is the default. This host file is the default. It is the default. And the ansible.cfg is the configuration file of Ansible. Configuration file of Ansible. That means that this ansible.cfg will tell you if you have something other than host as your inventory file, where it is and what is the name. Let's say I have an inventory file by the name inventory.ini. So this file lies where? All this information will be available under Ansible CFG. We will see that in a demo. So we have just learned about Ansible playbooks. So these are YAML files. YAMLs are nothing but yet another markup language. It is sort of a template through which you will write JSON-like formats. So when you talk about YAML, you cannot write a YAML template without JSON. JSON is Java script object notation. JavaScript object notation. If anyone of you knows Java, will absolutely know that Java and JavaScript are totally two different things. Okay, they are not the same. Though it is having JavaScript the name, but it's totally different. So YAML is like a key value pair. This is called key colon value pair. This is called JSON structure. So you represent the data over the internet as JSON data. So the interchangeable format over the internet is through JSON. Earlier it was through XML. XML is still available, but most of the developers hate to use XML because it is too much stricter in implementation. Too many tags. Whereas JSON is very simple. It is just love. You will love it to use. And JSON makes the core format of YAML. Okay. And you write your playbook in Ansible, and not in Ansible only. In most of your DevOps tools, the scripts that you write are all in YAML format, YAML or YML format. Clear? So this is your playbook, Ansible playbook structure. You have a playbook. You can have several plays. Under each play, there will be tasks. Under each task, you will be calling multiple modules, one notifier and one handler. We do not need to worry about notify and handler. It is like a trigger, and you do the trigger, you handle the trigger with the handler. So these are what you learn in our job ready programs or trainings. Okay, this is the structure of a playbook, where you say you start with a dash dash dash, and you say a dash 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 is always the beginning of any YAML file. You always say that's a YAML file, and dash 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 means there will be multiple plays, multiple YAML structures. So this is, you are connecting to host 1. Here you are connecting to host 2. And then you are naming it as a play 2. You are saying that you have a privilege of sudo. Yes. What is sudo and all these things I will not discuss, because that is part of your greater learning. Tasks. So you can club your tasks over here under the heading. So can you see these are when I say the tasks, can you see this task is a key colon, like here the host is a key, and what is the value? Host 1 is the value. Similarly, this task is the key. Under that, there are several other key value pair. So this is the main key having a sub key. These are the sub keys and values. Everywhere you see name colon, you give it a name of the task. And what is the task? This is a, can anybody tell me what is command? What is this command? When you say command dot date, what does it do? What is this command? Command is nothing but a module. You are calling this command module. So it is calling a shell command called date. So it will display or it will execute a date command. Shell command, that's all. You do not need to write anything. You just call that module and give that value. That's all. This is the key and this is the value. So this is the structure of your playbook. Another task is execute the script on the server. And the script, what is the script then? Just now I have told you script colon. So you are trying to run a script called testscript.sh. sh is the shell file, shell script. Now, can you tell me what is this script then? Is it a task or is it a module? It is under a task. So script is also a module. Okay? That is how is the organization of your playbook. Any question? No question? So fine. You have learned about this multiple plays in a single playbook. You see, this is the first play. This is the name of the first play. This is the second play. So name is the key. So how many, if anybody asks you how many plays are there, you will say there are 2 plays. First play and second play. You will ask, this is what? What is this? This is an Ansible clause to, whenever you mention hosts, where it looks in for this particular group, where will it look to? This is the playbook. This is the comment entry. Comment. This is the 3 dashes to start a YAML file. And can you see that there is a structure? You have to follow a structure. The key colon value. That is the JSON. But when I am asking, what is this host doing? The host is the clause. So when you have given web.example.com, what does that mean? That means it is, you are asking Ansible to look for the inventory file, whatever the name it is. By default, the name is hosts, as we have seen, but it can be any other name. And there will be a group called web.example.com, where you will have an IP address, multiple IP addresses, or maybe one or more. Okay. So when you that means you are saying that the hosts will go to that particular group or domain and of an inventory file, and it will connect to each of these IP addresses clubbed under this. Is that clear? So it will execute the service, that means it will install, it will enable a service that is a web server, and that is called Apache. Okay, and here it will enable to this particular group. So there can be a database server. That server will be listed under the inventory file with this group. There can be one server or multiple servers with the IP address, and there it will install MariaDB. Such a simple. This is a module. This is a module, and these are the parameters or the properties under the module service. Okay. These are very simple commands of Ansible. I will not go through much details about it. Like when you run the playbook, what is the command? You will say Ansible playbook, Ansible-playbook. This is the executable. This is the executable. This is the name of the file where you have written the playbook. And first of all, you want to check the syntax. Dash dash syntax check. Then if your syntax is correct, then what you do? You say Ansible playbook, playbook.yaml. You are executing the script under the playbook.yaml. So it will run the playbook. It will run the playbook. If you want to mention a particular inventory file, so you may say that -i inventory. So you have given a name to that inventory file as only inventory, where you have collected all the IP addresses, and then you specify the playbook. That's also a form. Ansible modules, we have already, there are lots of modules. Okay, I have listed a few of the modules like ping, setup, yum, apt key. These are all the modules. Package, PIP, for managing Python packages, NPM, managing Node.js packages, not a built-in module anyway. Shell, command, script. These are to run a local script in a remote node. Copy, to copy a file from local to remote. These are all your modules. Fetch, get URL. You are fetching something from the internet. You are downloading something. You can use file. File can be a directory as well. You can create a directory using file module. You can create a file using a file module. You can use a Jinja 2 or 3 template from one server to the other server. So you can carry a bunch of variables from one server to the other server. There are lots of things we will learn. Find, replace, line in file, service, user, cron. Cron is a very popular job. Many of our operations guy will be day in and day out, they will be using the cron job. So it will be very good if you use Ansible to automate those jobs using cron module. It is very, very simple to use and very effective. So Ansible roles are like you have organized a playbook to organize the task. Similarly, you can organize the playbook through Ansible roles. But that is an advanced concept that we will learn only when we do our job ready training. It is not in our scope in this, internship classes. Anyway, I will end the discussion. I will now switch over to our demo. Demo, that is, let me go back. So now you tell me, you can take a pause before I go to the GitLab, where we have in our previous session we had already done the Terraform over the GitLab. That means GitLab is a pipeline, automation pipeline, where I have installed, not installed, I have used Terraform to automate provisioning activity over on a cloud. Now I am adding Ansible over on top of it. So my Terraform has created one server over the cloud, provisioned. That is the function of Terraform. Terraform is a DevOps tool. The previous session we have learned about that. Now I will expand that pipeline to add my Ansible job. What will Ansible do? Ansible will connect to that server which has been created over the cloud, and then it will configure the server. What I will do? I will install a web server onto that server that was installed. That is my simple job, but I will do that automation. Is that okay with you, all of you? I'm not sure whether you have attended the previous session, but the recordings are still available, and if you ask me, I can also provide you the recording of all the DevOps introduction, the AWS session, the Ansible and the GitLab session, the 2 sessions, and this one today. Of course, I can give it to you. But can we switch over to seeing our demo? Are you interested? Hello? So unless you say yes, I will not go. Okay, Nikhilesh, thank you.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Thank you. So let me start the demo. So what I do, can you see my screen? This is the GitLab. GitLab, I will in short, I will tell you, GitLab is a pipeline. So a CI/CD pipeline. That means you do some automation through the pipeline. Your jobs will be triggered over the pipeline. So the developers keep on putting the code, the code that they are doing, and the code will trigger to be built. So you have given the code needs to be built. Once it is built, now it needs to go to the testing team to to be tested. That is how the things go. But if it is over the pipeline, then you say that you have done an automation. Okay. So here also we are trying to do an automation. Let us open the project called DevOps. We have already created a portion of that project, which is DevOps Internship Terraform Ansible GitLab. That is the name of the project. It's a big name. This is the project repository, DevOps Internship Terraform Ansible. It is over the cloud, and it is available in the https gitlab.com. So GitLab has given me an instance, where instance means a server, where I am creating my project. Because I have created my account and I am being able to use. It's like the concept over any system that you use as a SaaS platform, where like the AWS, like Azure, you will go to that, you will create an account and use that account. So once you log into that account, you are open to the server. The things are, you can create your server, you can access the server, the instance. So the world is open to you. Similarly, I'm using GitLab instance. This is the location. Okay. So if I So the location I have copied is, this is the location, HTTPS, a secured internet server. It is gitlab.com is the instance or the domain that I am logging in. This is my account, Devashish-Jiv. This is the project repository, and you know GitHub or anything. The concept is, it is the git.git. So the repository is this one. So this is my repository, and under that repository I have created a folder called Terraform, where I'm not going to go through this again because this was all discussed. We have the Terraform scripts, and this Terraform script is going to create my S3 bucket over the AWS Cloud, will give the properties of version enabled versioning, and then we will have the policies. We will assign some public policy over onto this bucket. So the bucket becomes publicly accessible and my team can work on this bucket. Similarly, I have created a security group. Security group. For creating an instance, I need an instance, means AWS instance. These are all we are going to learn. But I'm saying that you have created a server. Okay. And that server, if you want to access that server, you have to go through the security rules. That is, some doorkeeper is there. The doorkeeper will not allow you to enter the house or the building unless you are called for. You are not a trespasser. If you are a trespasser, you will be disallowed. So similarly, I have created a security group through Terraform, and there after I'm creating an EC2 instance. I've given appropriate names to these Terraform files. You see, I have created a resource called AWS instance. Anyway, we have already discussed that. I will not go through that discussion again. So let's say we have a pipeline. So the 1 week back, because this is a repetition, so better to say 2 weeks back. 2 weeks back, we had this pipeline. This is called a GitLab pipeline. Okay. So this is one job, Terraform job to validate, a Terraform job for plan, Terraform job for apply, and Terraform job for destroy. So this was done 2 weeks back. This was done the previous week when there was a session when we have done the Ansible. Can you see? There is one more job called Ansible. So I have added that. But we are going to repeat that. Assume that you are at this stage 2 weeks back when you only had the Terraform jobs created in the pipeline. So I will show you the pipeline. This is the GitLab pipeline. This is the GitLab pipeline. Under the Terraform folder, I have the Terraform scripts. These are the Terraform scripts. But on the root folder or the root repository, you will always create the .gitlab.-ci.yaml. So we have understood that that is the pipeline script. It is also a YAML file. And now I will go and edit in the single file. I know some of you may understand, some of you may not understand. Don't worry, because we are having the purpose of letting you understand, giving you the understanding, awareness building. So we had this YAML file. As I told you, the YAML file will always start with a --. And there are various, this is the variable section, image section, stages. Oh, I will not give this stage right now. Okay. So in the variable stage, I have declared my variables. Terraform directory, where is my pipeline going to find the Terraform folder? What is the state name? That is the, backend state. That is a part of Terraform. So a Terraform desired state will all be defined under a particular state. And that state file will be hidden from anybody's access by GitLab in this particular address that GitLab knows. I will just say that this is my particular project, CI project ID, and this is the state name variable where this is defined as the variable. So this is the variable and this is the value. So how do I define a variable? How do I state a variable, interpolate the value? I will use a dollar sign. Then I am importing an image of Terraform. This is, I'm getting the image from the Docker Hub. I am not installing Terraform. I will not install Ansible anywhere in my instance. That is the beauty of GitLab. Okay. It is, you have to just attach the image. So it will use the Docker technology to containerize the entire application with the help of your Terraform as well. So you are saying that these are the Terraform jobs, stages, under these stages. And this is the before script. What you will do before you run the Terraform jobs in the various stages. This is the initialize. You will initialize. That means you will say that I want a particular plugin that is for something happened. The camera was kneeling behind. So now can you see? Yes. So now what I do, I go there. I was just describing that this is the before script. That is, Terraform has to understand that what is the provider. Okay. So it will download the provider plugin. So that is the Terraform init. We will learn Terraform in details in our job ready training. Anyway, so Terraform will initialize itself and download all the, so we are connecting to AWS. So it will download the AWS plugins. It will then validate the job. So Terraform validate is the command. So it is done through the script. In which stage? In the stage validate. And I'm doing it manual. So I'm not doing it automatically. If I want to do the job automatically, I will say always. Right now, since I'm building the script, I want to be very sure I will not hurry through. I will not make it automated in the very first go. I will do it slowly, steadily. I will first of all do it manually, check that everything is working in a pipeline, all the jobs and all the stages. Thereafter, I will make it automated. So the validate job, the plan job of Terraform, then the apply job. And of course, the destroy. After everything has been tested fine and everything is working fine, then only I will go for what? I will destroy the resources over the cloud if I do not require. If I do not want that job to be done, I will not. So this will always be manual, even though they will be turned into always. Always means automatic. Right now, I'm not doing it. So what I have done a change. So I will commit this change. I've taken out that Ansible job stage. But will the pipeline be triggered automatically? No, it won't. It won't. You see why? Because I have given for each of the stages, I had made it manual. So it will try to trigger, but it will not be able to execute it. I will check that. So you go to the build and you go to the pipelines. Can you see it has been the latest just now? Latest pipeline for the most recent commit on this branch. So in the branch, in the main branch, I have made a commit because I have taken out that line. I have deleted that and I have committed it. So it triggered the pipeline, but Each of these stages are skipped. Why it is skipped? Can anybody tell me? I did not want to run it automatically. That's why I kept every stage as manual. Is this part clear? Now, for today's topic, I would like to, I know this has been passed in the very 2 weeks back. So the Terraform jobs have all passed. So I know this is the same script. I'm not going to run it right now. I will include Ansible and then I will run it together. Is that agreeable? So let us do it. I have a document where I will go and so Ansible integration using the CI/CD, GitLab CI/CD along with the existing Terraform jobs. So my existing Terraform jobs are there. I will now integrate. This is basically integrating, assimilating the Ansible jobs into the existing pipeline. I can do that. So let us, okay, in doing so, I need to just give you one issue like that. I'm going to create, when I run the pipeline job, that my Terraform job will create one instance on my Mumbai region of AWS. This is an AWS terminal. This is, I'm on the cloud. I'm going to create not manually, but through my Terraform script over the GitLab pipeline, I will create an instance. Instance means a server. I'm going to create a server. But to create a server, I will do the security group. Right now, I do not have that security group. I will create that security group over here. And also, there is the key pair. Now, this is the manual part that I have done. I already have created a key pair. You know, key pair. What is a key pair? Can anybody tell me? There is a two-way security. When you access your server, there is your authentication and then authorization. Your authentication will be done through your DevOps. I mean, this is the key pair. This is an encrypted fingerprint. You know, a fingerprint does not match with any individual's fingerprint, will not match with anyone else in the world. Similarly, there is that algorithm of creating a random fingerprint that will never match, like the IP address. An IP address generated will never match with another IP address. Two devices cannot have the same IP address. Similarly, your two fingerprints cannot match. So I have a fingerprint. So for authentication, to get inside that server, I need an authentication. So that is, instead of password, I'm giving a fingerprint. Fingerprint is a biometric sort of you can think, but digital biometric. Okay, I'm giving a fingerprint. I've created a fingerprint, and this fingerprint I'm going to attach with my EC2, that Terraform file. I'm going to attach to my EC2 instance, AWS instance. The same, because then from outside I will be able to handshake. I will be authenticated. And what is security group? One is authentication through the fingerprint, and the other one is the security group is for the authorization. So two-way security, authentication and authorization. So even if you are authenticated, maybe security group will not allow you. Why? Maybe you have violated a rule. So if you are coming within that rule, so if you are valid, you are not a trespasser, then you will be allowed to access so that is called authorization. You are authorized to access the resource. Is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Very good. I am not moving at all. I am actually trying to move, but my picture is stand still. Why it is so? Oh, okay. Great. So That is what I am just giving you a heads up that these are the things. Uh, oh, why it is running? Did I run it? Let me check. Why it is running? So I did not run it. It is not running. So why it is running? Oh, the security group is also created. Uh, Somehow it has run. Now let me drop this. Just 1 minute. Let me drop this. So what I do, I will go over here, go to my pipeline, and I will go to this. I will manually run this destroy job. Somehow it ran. I don't know why. So I will run the job for destroy. I don't want to create it right now. So it is trying to, it will destroy if it has started. So what it is doing, I'm running a Terraform job to destroy all the resources that was somehow it was run. Though I have not run it, I made it manual, but maybe by mistake, one of my, I had clicked on one of the other pipelines, maybe. So let it clean it up. So you can see that it is destroying. It has destroyed the my S3 bucket and all the resources that was created. So 7 to destroy will destroy. 7 resources will be destroyed. So the job succeeded. Now I can go back to my pipeline and for the time being, I will just I will remove this job. I will delete this job. Delete this pipeline. This was done 1 week back. Anyway, so I can go back to my cloud to check. Now, if I refresh it, you will not find the resource that the security group. Similarly, if I go to my instances and if you refresh it, you will not find it. You will find it's terminated. So let it be terminated. Now I will go back to my documentation saying what I need to do. So what I was explaining you is over here you will find, I will go back to my code, to my repository. Here you will find one fingerprint, the PEM file, DevOps internship. That is the file, the fingerprint that we say. So I have to, my Ansible will take the help of this PEM file and will be able to connect to the instance, that is the newly created instance, where it will connect and install something. So let us do it. I will do what? I will create a directory and I will name it as Ansible. So I'm adding a new directory. I will commit it on the same branch, the main branch. So a directory Ansible has been created. I will quickly do all the files. So first file is uh, my Ansible CFG. Okay. So I will create a file. So a new file will be created in the under the Ansible folder, and I will name it as ansible.cfg, and I will copy and paste because there is no time for me to do it from the scratch. So I will just copy and paste, but I can explain you what I am doing. Uh, I will just add new file ansible.cfg. This is the commit message, and I will commit the changes. So what I'm doing is in the Ansible CFG, I have given a defaults paragraph or defaults group where I'm mentioning the inventory. Where is my inventory file? I will create the inventory.ini file and keep it under Ansible directory. Then the host key checking is false. First time, whenever you log in to any system, you will be asked whether you want to continue for the host. So it is no point in saying yes or no, because in an automation pipeline, you do not need to be interrupted. So I will say the host key checking should be made false. The remote user will be Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the user because I'm going to use an Ubuntu operating system, Linux. Ask for password? No, make it false. So these are all the Ansible clauses. Private key. Now, what is the private key? You are specifying that this private key file is under the project directory by the name DevOps Internship.pm, because Ansible needs to have that private key file, that fingerprint. And this is privilege escalation. That is, what is the privilege that you want to become a true means the become means you want to become like a root user, having all the superpower, super executive power. Become method is pseudo super user. You want to become a user like root, so nobody there is, you have all the privileges. So that is called the privilege escalation. Become ask pass part, so become false. So you do not need to ask for a password for the root. So that is the configuration that we have done. And now we will go back to our, so this file has been created. I will go back to my Ansible folder. And right now I will create one more file, and that file will be your inventory.ini, isn't it? Because I wanted to, in the Ansible CFG, I have given the mention the file name as inventory.ini. And similarly, I will copy that file, put it over here, and I will tell you this is all. If I mention hosts all, it will just go and use all the variables and all the, this is the Mumbai server. So I have given I am given a group name. And what we will see in the pipeline, we will write a script, a small script, to using AWS CLI to put that IP address. It will extract the IP address from the newly created host or the server and put it over here. It will write it over here. So whenever the playbook, Ansible playbook will run, it will look for this inventory.ini and it will find the IP address of the Mumbai server. Isn't it nice? That is what we have discussed in our theory. So add a new file, and the file name is inventory.ini and commit the changes. So whenever you do any commit, I'm sure there will be your build triggers to the pipeline, and you will see that. So you see the trigger is happening. So many new triggers. So you have added a new directory, that is also a commit. You have added a new file called ansible.cfg, that was also a commit. So it triggered the pipeline. There was adding a new file inventory.ini, that was also triggering the pipeline. So I can keep it. The understanding of yours is more important than I'm keeping it. But just to show you that each of the commit will trigger the pipeline, that is the automation. But here the pipeline jobs are not fired. Let me again check whether the job has been fired. No, nothing. Somehow there was some click onto some pipeline, it automatically ran, maybe by mistake. It will not run because you have stopped. These are all manual. It will not start up the jobs. So let me go back to the code repository. Go to the Ansible folder because I have not yet done this. And now I will go to this thing. I will copy the playbook. The playbook is the YAML file, playbook1.yaml. So I will copy it from here to here. I will tell you what I'm doing. So I will create one more new file called the playbook. Playbook1.yaml. Okay. And I will put in this. So since it's a YAML file, it will start with a -- hosts all. Now, can anybody tell me how will it reach to that Mumbai server? It will reach because you have given, remember, you have given all colon vars as a group. So it will have all the variables plus that group. So if there were multiple groups, it will go for all the groups, for all the IP addresses. So it is very convenient if I say hosts all. And remote user gather facts. I don't want to, I know automatically in my newly created instance in Ubuntu, that is a big advantage. Python comes bundled. Okay. With the operating system, that is the AMI, Amazon Machine Image. The operating system Ubuntu will come bundled with Python. So a gather fact, I already know that my host has the Python, so no need to check it again. So make it false. A remote user is of course Ubuntu. Become, yes, that Ubuntu will become a root user when you say become. Because in my Ansible.cfg, I have said the privilege of escalation. If you want to, if your become is yes, that means you are promoting Ubuntu to root. So what are the tasks? The tasks are install Apache 2. So apt is the module. You know, you have not learned, or I don't know whether you know Linux, but the Ubuntu Linux will have the package manager called apt. So this is a module with which you will be able to install Apache. Name is Apache 2. State is latest. Latest means the latest version of Apache. You want to update the cache? Yes. Before you install any software over your instance, you must update the repository, the apt repository. And another task is just to enable the service. That means Apache should be enabled to be restarted every time you start up the machine or the server. You do not have to install again and again. It will be installed, but whenever you start up the server, it will be running in the background automatically. So you are enabling it with this. This service is a module, like apt is a module. So did you understand the playbook? Very simple. It will connect to that host, which is Mumbai server, and then it will connect and it will execute, that means install Apache and start the service of Apache. These are the two tasks that you are going to do with Ansible. Now I will have done that. So added a new file called what is that file name? Playbook1.yaml. You can make it anything, just a commit message, commit changes. So remember, as I commit the change, there will be the pipeline will be triggered. That is the beauty. But the pipeline will not execute because of that. See, just latest, you have added a new file, playbook1.yaml. So for each commit, there will be one, the pipeline will be triggered, but I have made it stop. So go back to your repository, and I think I have done everything for the Ansible. Now let's go back. You have the Terraform scripts, you have the Ansible scripts. Now what is remaining is to do the edit of the pipeline script. So I have to do some changes. Now, the first change, what I do is I will put in my Ansible directory, because like the Terraform directory, I have the Ansible directory. Because I am saying, where is my Ansible scripts? So Ansible scripts are there under Ansible folder. So that is one variable. Rest, and this one I will like to put that image of Terraform into, because now there are multiple images. You will have Ansible AWS CLI, because that AWS CLI will extract the IP address. So there will be multiple images. So what I will do, I will take it out from here and I will put inside each of the stages. Okay, what I will do, I will not save this. I will say cancel, discard this. I will again open it. Let me copy this one and I will put it as a variable under the variable section. So Ansible directory is this. What I will do, I will use the Docker in Docker image, that service. Yeah, it is giving that you cannot have multiple images. The map key should be unique. So this image and image cannot exist. So what I will do, I will take the Terraform, this thing outside and put it inside each of the under each of the stage. Okay. So another one over here, I will have to give it two spaces towards the right because this is the main key and these are the sub keys or properties under the image. Similarly, in the apply job of Terraform, I will also copy the same image because these are all Terraform jobs. So I have to have the Terraform image. That Terraform image is downloaded from the HashiCorp site of Terraform. So here also, because it's a Terraform job of destroy, so it needs a Terraform executor. Done. So what will happen to, what is this Docker in Docker? You see, I am going to use the image of Terraform, the image of Ansible, the image of AWS CLI and Ubuntu. So all these images, multiple images, when I am working in a pipeline script with multiple images, I need to have a Docker in Docker service. So what is the image? The image is Docker. Docker is a technology. We will learn in the next session about Docker. Don't worry about this right now. Docker is a containerization technology. Okay. So without Docker, you will not be able to do this pipeline. And another service within the Docker is, this is DIND, Docker in Docker. That means it's a beautiful concept. We will discuss that when we in the Docker next week because I do not have enough time. And I will put one more stage after apply is, what is the stage name? The Ansible stage. So I've added one more stage called Ansible stage. And the before script, now before script will be converted So let that be a before script for Terraform. For Ansible, I will put that as a hidden job so that it can be repeated again and again. So what I will do, I will put it after the stage. Okay, so this is a hidden job. Hidden job has an anchor, and basically I'm doing all these commands, that is export, echo, cd, export. All these things are within that particular job or called the hidden job with the anchor such that I can use it as and when I need it. So it is not like a before script. Let the before script be done only for Terraform, but for Ansible, it will be only when I need it. So this is called the main part of it is the hidden job. And here I will take, I'm giving this job, I will explain you this job. And that will be the job after the apply. So it will be like this over here. Okay. So this is the job name. I'm adding an Ansible job, Ansible run. Where, in which stage it will be working? It is in the Ansible stage. Let me see the stage. Yeah, the Ansible stage will run only after the apply. Yes, that's okay. So when the instance has been created, when the EC2 instance has been created with the apply job by Terraform, then only this Ansible stage will run. Ansible stage will first of all import an image or download an image by the name. This is my Docker Hub account under which I have created an image. You know, from Docker, when we learn in the next session, the Docker, we will learn how to create an image. Okay. I have created an image. What is that image? That image consists of an operating system called Ubuntu. On top of it, I have installed AWS CLI. On top of it, I have installed Ansible. And now I am downloading that image within the Docker service, Docker in Docker, such that my Ansible, I do not need to install Ansible. I do not need to install AWS CLI. See the beauty of this pipeline, GitLab pipeline. I am just given a server. I do not need to pay a single cent to anyone. I am running a project. Okay, everything free of cost. So the before the script is run, is the anchor with a star Ansible env setup. So it is setting up the environment for Ansible. Then it is doing inside the script, it is going to that project directory and it is checking, it is converting using a command chmod. This is a Linux command. It is giving a permission of 0400. That is 4 is only the read permission to the owner of this file, because Ansible is very finicky, very particular, that if the PEM file is not secured, it is only available as a read permission to the owner. Otherwise, it will not, it will fail. So 4 is the read permission for the owner. And who is the owner? Owner is Ubuntu or the root. So after this changing of the permission, it goes to the Ansible directory, and now it uses a shell command called export to export to this variable. This is the AWS CLI command. You will not understand this right at this stage. I am using an AWS CLI command to extract the EC2 from the instance name as Internship EC2 instance from the region AP South 1, which is Mumbai, and I'm gripping the public IP address in that line, and in that line I'm picking up the second field, and then from the second field I'm truncating out the double quotes, and then also I'm truncating out the comma. If I had time, I could have explained you the entire, these awk, sed, grep, these are the Linux commands that you will learn in our job ready training. This AWS CLI command you will learn in our job ready training when we are doing the capstone project. So basically, I'm saying you have extracted the public IP address of the newly created instance. Fine. And what you are doing, you are putting that public IP, you are extracting the value with a dollar and putting that value where you are appending to the very last line. Remember, there was a square bracket and Mumbai server, that inventory.ini. Under that group, you are putting that IP address. Is that clear? That concept? So now the inventory ini will have that IP address because it is dynamically. Before the server is created, how will you know what is the IP address? Because IP address is a random number generated. After that, what you do, you give the permission 644. 6 is read write and 44 is read and read to the file inventory.ini. And you are echoing that whether the file has been created correctly with the value. And then you are echoing the Ansible version, which is Ansible -- version. and running the Ansible script. Now, Ansible playbook 1.yaml minus I, you are mentioning where the inventory file is. Is that fine? So now this is all. I am sure added the Ansible stage and job script and committing the changes. Now I will go to the pipeline. I am almost there. I will go to the build. I will go to the pipeline. Okay. So this is my latest one. That is, here I have the validate Terraform job, the plan Terraform job, the apply Terraform job, and the Ansible, the one that is added just now, the Ansible stage job. And finally it is destroy. So let us verify once. Right now, I do not have any instance, right? Now we will see the magic. I'm going to run the pipeline as it is. So I'm not doing it automatically, but I'm running one by one. So I will first job, the validate job, under the validate stage, I will put this. So I can check it, the log. It will take hardly another 5-6 minutes to complete. So what we are doing, we are running the pipeline manually right now, but we can do it automatically by changing the manual word to the always. So it will automatically do. If I get some time, can show you. We are using a shared pipeline. That's why it's taking a bit of time. But we can create our own pipeline job runner. So that job runner will be on our instance. So it can be faster. I can make it faster. So let me go back to my pipeline. So the first job, which is the validate job, has passed. Passed. See, right sign means passed. Now let us run the plan job. It is starting the service Docker in Docker. See, all these things. This is a log file. It is displaying it. As you have coded it, it will show that up. And it is pulling that Docker image of HashiCorp, that Terraform latest. So it is running the Terraform plan. So the job succeeded because it is saying that the plan is to add 7 resources. Yes, okay. I will go back to the pipeline. I will now run the apply job. So I will, see, this is apply means it will actually create all those resources, the 7 resources. It will take a bit of time. Here at this stage, you will see that the instance has been created with the security group attaching the fingerprint. It will take a bit of time. So it has started creating the various resources, out of which one of the resource is the S3 bucket. Yeah. So it has done. 7 resources were added. 7 resources were added. The job succeeded. If the job succeeded, now the best part is, I mean, not the best, I mean, the next part, which is what we have done today, is the Ansible. Let's see. What Ansible is doing is it is trying to extract the IP address of that of the newly created instance, and once it got the IP address, it will use the fingerprint, that file, DevOps internship.pem, and then it will authenticate, and because it already has the security group, it will connect to that host, and once it has connected, it will now install with the playbook, it will now install the Apache 2 server, Apache 2 web server, as well as it will enable it, start it in the background. These are the 2 tasks, as you have learned. Let's see whether it does or not. I'm not sure, because these things can go wrong anytime. If something was not done correctly, it can go wrong. Don't worry. If it does not work today, we will complete it on the next weekend, and then we will move on to Docker. But let's hope for the best. I think, oh, it has, playbook 1 could not be found. See, it has extracted the IP address, but somehow it is saying that playbook 1 is not found. Playbook 1.yaml is not found. Could not be found. Allowed to fail. So, as I told you, these things can go wrong anyway. I will check whether at least the server was created. Yes, the server was created. And am I being able to connect it from outside? Let me check. So, what is the IP address? See, this 13.126.146.22 is the IP address generated. And you will see the pipeline also has extracted, sorry, not this one. The pipeline also has extracted 13.126.146.22, and that was put in the inventory.ini. You see, 13.126.146.22. So I will let me connect it from outside. I will change the IP address. Let me check the authentication file, the credentials. Yes, yes, that is fine. Yes, it is connecting. You see, you can connect it. But unfortunately, because Ansible could not, there was an error. So Ansible could not install sudo systemctl. Let me check status of Apache 2. Now, Apache 2 could not be found because Ansible could not install because there was an error. So don't worry. I will check why it could not find that playbook. Let me just give me 1 minute. Let me go back to the code, to the repository. So Ansible, playbook1.yaml. That is the file. And what did I do? Let me go back over here. Let me check. So it is Ansible playbook1.yaml minus I inventory. Oh, can you see? That is the culprit. You see, CD runs. There is no runs underscore di. What is that? Is ans dir. Ans ans dir, because the variable is ans dir. That was the mistake. Some type error. So I will quickly make it ans dir. See, there must be some reason, and definitely now it will find. So there was a change. So let me commit the changes, and go to my build, go to the pipelines, and in this pipeline, see, all my things are done. Only what is that? Ansible stage was not running. So what I will do, I will not do anything else. I will just go over here and I will go the inventory Ansible run, because that is the part that I need. And I will check. So that is the advantage. I do not rerun the entire thing again, because I have already created my resources. I do not want to run the Terraform jobs again. I would like to run, because I have done the correction or that Ansible job. So that portion I'm running. Let's see. It should work. I think it is working. See, it is working with the playbook right now. It is installing Apache 2. And it is now trying to start the Apache service in the background. So installation has been done. Whenever you see changed, that means the installation has been done over this particular server. Yes, the job has succeeded. Now I can close my eyes, go to my this thing, and if I repeat the statement, will I get the Apache 2? Yes, Apache 2 is running. So that is the success. And I can now go to my, so I can copy this and I can go to saying HTTP, go to that server and Apache runs on a HTTP because it's an HTTP server, so it runs on a port called 80. Can you see? I am now being able to see that Apache web server. So my job was successfully done. My work has been done. I have connected to my host, and my host was and there I have deployed a job of installing my Apache web server. So that is all, my friends, all for today.